Hey y'all, my name's Mare. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my September TBR, so all the books that I want to read this month, and I have 6 or 7. I didn't count, and also even if I did, I probably would tell you the wrong number, that we're going to talk about today. We're going to learn about them together because I have a horrible problem of picking up books that I know very little about, but the vibes. I'm a vibe reader. You know, there's mood readers and there's people who plan TBRs, and I am both. I go in books for the vibes. Will I read all these books? Maybe, maybe not, but we'll find out together by the end of the month. Sorry if the lighting's bad. I wanted to sit on my floor and kind of give you some vibes that I used to have on my channel. I used to film all my videos sitting on my floor, so this just kind of felt like the mood to me, and I'm liking it, but like it's also kind of dark. It's kind of romantic. Are we on a date right now? So the first book that I'm hoping to read in September is Love on the Brain by Hazelwood, and this is a book following Bee and Levi, who are both scientists working on a project together at NASA for astronauts. So Bee and Levi knew each other once upon a time during their graduate years of college, and at least I think it was their graduate years of college, something like that. They knew each other, they didn't like each other. Bee always wanted to work with Levi, but Levi never wanted to work with Bee and was always very standoffish towards her, and now they have to work on a project together. So of course we're gonna find out that Levi was actually pining for Bee this whole time and didn't want to be with her because she had a fiance and it was too hard for him. That's at least what I'm assuming is going to happen. I want to read this book really bad because I loved The Love Hypothesis, which was Hazelwood's first book that she published. I'm a basic gal. I loved that book. I devoured that book. I loved everything having to do with Olive and Adam, and so when I saw this at the bookstore, I didn't even think about it. I just bought it, and I'm really excited to read it. I actually have started this one and I'm a few chapters in, and I already have a lot of thoughts, so more to come. The next book that I'm hoping to read during September is Well Played by DeLuca. I'm actually hoping to read both this one and the third book in this series, Well Matched, this month, so I'll talk about them collectively. Now, this is a continuation of the Well Met series. It's this series that takes place in a town where the Renaissance Fair is the coolest thing since sliced bread. Everyone loves the Renaissance Fair, they participate in it, and they might find love there. So that's kind of what I'm hoping is happening with the rest of these two. I hope they're different and they're not all like at the Renaissance Fair, and so far I have started Well Played and that's not the case. I'm really excited because I loved the first book in this series. I gave it 4 stars, and I've heard that the third one is really good. I love this first book in the series. I'm down for some more romance this month, and Well Played follows Stacy, who was a fellow tavern wench with Emily in the first book, finding her own love story after the Renaissance Fair ends for the year with someone who, you know, made an appearance at the Ren Fair a few times. And the third book in the series follows April and Mitch. Mitch is this pretty boy kind of figure, and April is Emily's sister from the first book who went under a traumatic experience. She was in a car accident and she lost a lot of her mobility because of that and was in a recovery process. That's what led Emily to this town in the first place. And I'm just really excited to see all their love stories. It's gonna be such a fun romantic time. The next book I'm hoping to read this month is Luck and Last Resorts. This is a sequel to a book that I read last month as well because I'm just in the mood to read all the romance series. But this one is the sequel to Love, List, and Fancy Ships, which is a book that I adored. It was actually my favorite book of August and one of my favorite romance books that I've read in a really long time, and I'm super ecstatic to read this one. So the first book in the series is on this yacht setting, and it definitely has a really amazing blend of women's fiction and romance. There's a lot of grief and trauma that the main character experiences, but there's also a lot of love and positivity in the book, so I'm hoping that's what the sequel is going to bring as well. I'm really looking forward forward to a romance that is not only romantic but really hard-hitting and will punch me in the gut, I want whiplash when I read this book. This one follows Nina, who's the best friend from the main character in the first book, and I loved and adored Nina. She was so quirky and fun and just quick-witted, and I really loved reading about her character. I loved her relationship with Joe, the main character in the first book, and she was just such a supportive friend and is always there for Joe. So I'm really excited to see Nina's love story blossom. She totally deserves love, and I'm so excited. And I love that it's got a boat setting. I'm a boat girly, so this is really fun for me. So this one's also a second chance romance, so that will be interesting for me because I feel like I'm not a fan of second chance romances, but we're gonna give this one and this trope a second chance. This one follows Nina and Ollie, who both worked on the yacht together with Joe. And Ollie actually moved on to do a different job. He's no longer on the yacht, and Nina had a lot of hard feelings about this, so I have a feeling they're going to rekindle their friendship and it'll probably blossom into a beautiful romance. I mean, not probably, it will, because it's a romance book, but I'm excited. We love love. Next, I'm hoping to read Dream On by Angie Hockman, and this one has the tagline, "What would you do if your dream man turned out to be real?" So this one has a super fun premise. I'm just in a huge romance mood, if you could probably tell. I think every single book on this list is romance because I've been reading literally nothing else. But this one sounds really fun, and I read Shipped by Angie Hockman and I enjoyed it enough. Like, I liked it, didn't love it, thought it was a good time, but also had a couple problems with it. And I think this one just sounds more interesting based on the synopsis, so I'm excited to read it. I did like Angie Hockman's writing style. I just found her writing to be a little bit too quirky, and like the message in it was very much in your face, and I didn't like that. So I'm hoping with, I believe this is her sophomore novel, or at least a continuation of her work, that she'll improve her craft, and I'm excited to see what a dream man in real life is like. Cass Walker, she's a law student. She was in a car accident, and when she wakes up from this, she's flooded with memories of her boyfriend who never existed, but then she actually meets him in real life. So that's kind of the, what would you do if your dream man just walked into your life one day? That's what it is. He's literally from her dreams. So this one sounds really interesting and fun. Next book I want to read this month, Neon Gods by Katee Robert. Now, Katee Robert wrote the Wicked Villain series that I read 2 of the books of. I read the first 2 in the series, and I think I gave them both maybe 3 stars. They worked for me in some ways, did not work for me in others, and I did kind of have fun with them. Even if I didn't think they were peak literature, I thought that they were a whopping good time, and you know what, that counts for something. And so that's why I was like, you know what, Neon Gods, I want to read that too. This one is another Hades and Persephone retelling, so I'm excited to read this. I hear it's spicy, I hear it's good and better than the Wicked Villain series, so I'm excited to get hooked onto this one. But I really like Hades and Persephone? I really like Hades and Persephone retellings. I haven't read that many, but like so far I've enjoyed every single one that I've read, so I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this one too. The last book that I'm hoping to read this month is Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey. So as you can probably tell, I've had a thing for like romance series last month, so why not read another one? I thought it would be a good idea to start the Hot and Hammered series by Tessa Bailey, because I've read previously from Tessa Bailey and I really enjoyed both of her books. I read It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I think I gave them both 4 stars, so good track record so far. I've heard mixed things about the Fixer Up series, and I've heard, I think Tools of Engagement is probably the best one in the series, but you know what, we're gonna find out together. I'm gonna try and read all 3, starting with Fixer Up. This one looks like it has fake dating in it. It follows Georgie, whose family has a home renovation business, and she doesn't want to be a part of that. She wants to have a children's birthday party business instead, but she wants her family to take her seriously, so it looks like she starts fake dating someone to do so. So yeah, this series I think is like all about home renovation stuff. I don't know, it just Fixer Up, Hot and Hammered, those words to me scream HGTV. I'm gonna let you know what those are about when I read them. I'm excited. I am wanting to read more by Tessa Bailey and just all the romance books in the future. I've just been really on a romance kick and I cannot stop. Any contemporary romance, if I have not read it, it will be read this year. Anywho, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you're planning on reading in September. I would love to know. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned, let me know your opinions on them. Am I gonna like them? Am I gonna hate them? What's the tea? What's the drama? Thank you so much for watching this video. Like always, I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you want. Don't feel like you have to. But yeah, thank you so much. Bye y'all. I'll see you in the next video. TTYL.